that time itself in order to slow it, in order to change everything in there. Okay, just understand this. There's two sides of the coin that has to do with how negative and positive energy actually work. Okay, because
So
it's
hold on,
not
let me
always
propose
magnet
this.
effect.
So let me propose this. So I agree with you, okay, about the RAV, but then what does that mean for the other side? And I always say that. So what does that
That
mean for
it's
the
a
other side?
definite possibility that Einstein
So
never saw
slowing you
coming
down on the
because he
other
didn't
side.
know it.
So you're
He didn't
speeding
know
up
it.
on one side and you're slowing it down on the other. Therefore, you have an ambient zero in the middle. And
You
that's always
do.
been the point.
That's the
You have an
0 point.
ambient zero in the middle.
Yeah.
Yep.
And just a little off topic, but involved in it. Did you know that 1 amp coulomb so that's like your hot electricity or your resistance AC versus so that's 1 amp electron, I guess, from that. But the equivalent 1 electron of DC is 1.6 times 10 to the negative 19 coulombs. So it literally takes 1.60 times 10 to the magnitude of 19 electrons to make up 1 hot amp electron. So between DC cold electron and then your hot AC electricity amp, it's 10 or 1.6 times 10 to the 19 amount of electrons, like the amount of energy. So there's like the potential
All
with
right.
zero resistance of electrons in cold electricity converge compared to AC of that scale of waste. If I'm understanding that, is that possible?
So hold on. Are you converting electron? I get that electron word on my mouth. I hate that
So,
word. The electricity to the amperage. Are you comparing the two, like converting?
but
Yeah. So
a coulomb is like a bucket. Okay, it's
Right.
1 amp for 1 second. So if you run 1 amp for 1 second, that's 1 coulomb. Coulomb's a
okay.
bucket of 10 to the number of 18 zeros electrons in the bucket.
Okay, so that I guess that's the density of 1 second of hot AC energy's worth of electrons. That's the density of the DC of electrons into 1 amp second of hot AC.
Yeah. So every second you get 1 amp, then you get another bucket of coulombs. Coulombs is an insane amount of energy. 1 coulomb. Insane.
Yeah, because that's literally 1.6 times 10 to the 19 zeros worth of electrons that have to flow in 1 second through that system to get that 1 amp, essentially, is what it is. So if it's cold electricity, a DC charged electron, then that would be I guess, the difference in resistance of heat that you'll lose from having the AC circuit compared to the DC within that second of those electrons, and then that percentage would be your waste, which it's just such a large number and potential for that. I don't know, sorry. That's just one thought of the overall engineering of between cold plasma and hot plasma that I was doing over my little trip there, and
Very
yeah.
cool.
Oh, okay. Listen, you sparked something in my head that is irrelevant. Okay, but it just made me go, ah, damn. You know, uh, 1.62 being, your golden ratio figure, okay, is mechanism of a spiral, is mechanism of caduceus relationship and motion, okay? And that's what we're seeing build out on the cathode side in the structure. See, I've been trying to figure out what the hell is going on, but it's helical, and that's how it's building out as helical. So it's directly related to 1.62, which is directly related to time. You know, it's my theory at least, and nobody really
Right.
says it. I don't like talking about it because I don't believe it or know.
It's the time, and it's that second of time density, and then with specifically that what I was talking about, that factor is relevant in E equals mc squared for Einstein's, but that it has to do with the molar mass of the atom and the energy density in molar mass engineering into the particles and charge, as opposed to the speed of light factor in E equals mc squared, and getting into the converting the molar mass of the energy atom and actually going straight into energy without having to factor in light speed variable slash constant.
Right. So I mean,
You take it out to C, E equals M squared, no C.
Exactly, and replacing it with that time and energy or particle electron energy equation instead, density. And then you have direct conversion of mass into energy through electron charge numbers of specific amounts, right? So, or volume of units of the particle, base particle charge of the electron into it.
yeah, I hear that. Yeah, that makes sense.
It's because light's an effect; it's not a cause.
Right,
That's why you have to.
exactly.
That's why you have to take it out of there, because that made no sense to put in
That
the
was
first place.
skewing of E equals mc squared. Where with this, it's direct nuclear density charge energy of electron being the charged particle that makes it up, and a similar magnitude of to the 19th on it. So, yeah, just a thought, a little bit more work going into it, but just the initial thoughts on
I'm
that.
going to show you something real quick because I don't think people pick this up. Okay, we showed this earlier, right? I just want
Did you
to show
catch
you
the presentation, Bernie?
I sadly fell asleep after my plane flight. I meant to join in and stream from the beginning, so this will be new to me, but rewatch, and I'm going to rewatch the entire thing after.
I'd love your opinion after you watch it.
Okay, hold on, right here. Just want you guys to pay attention to something. It's the distance between energy. On the bottom, they came out in a drum beat, okay? But in the top, they didn't. They come out as high frequency. Just understand this. These are equal spaced the whole way down. That's your harmonics at play. Okay? No matter what you do, the beat frequency's in a harmonic value. Okay? So we can listen to it and you can clearly hear the beats and it's in harmonics while the other one's in high frequency.
Which, by the way, that is representative of your ratio.
I'm sorry, what?
I said, by the way, if you count all that out, that's representative of what your ratio is, one to the other. You know, which if it's functioning the way you want it to, then you know that that's your sweet spot. If when you hit the sweet spot, you count how it's breaking up.
Yeah, I'm going to tell you this right now. This is in AC, by the way. This is not in DC. Just watch. Right here on the bottom. You hear that right at the end? That's your beat frequency.
Whoa. Mm-hmm.
That right there. You just have to understand it for what it is, guys. That's how you know you're in AC. DC does not do that. Okay, it's the slush. The slush between the two is creating your beats. Okay, I'll play it again so you guys get it.
It's there.
It's just that little bit. That's all it is. But so let's tie this back together. We always talk about harmonics. We always talk about resonance. Okay, but they're all tied in. I mean, that right there is telling you exactly how it's tied in between everything.
Because
you know what? I'm just making that sound band in my head of that beat frequency, and I'm kind of like counting it off as to like what it seems to be. Seems to be pretty close to like 7 hertz, man.
And
Like
by
it's
the
like
way,
whoa, and I'm sitting there doing that and like kind of being like, what's about a second? I'm like, I just did that about 6.5 times, and I know my timing is off. So I'm sitting there saying, man, it's low frequency and it's close.
you're gonna have to listen to the video I sent you because you're missing a lot. You're only getting maybe 30% of what is coming out of it. It's tuning in as like a radio transmitter and receiver. It actually sounds like a shortwave radio. That tube that's been ionized with the plasma. I thought it was like outrageous. How is this tuning into as like an AM station running through the frequencies and then stopping with some kind of scatter? Like it was demodulating an AM channel. And I'm just watching this tube filled with plasma going, what is going on? Now I know people say, oh, plasma can be used as a speaker. That's true. But this was not being a speaker. This was being a receiver and a demodulator and a transceiver.
Radiant frequencies, right? So it's the radiant energy and the bandwidth of the plasma arc, I'm guessing, is your wavelength in the signals that it's accepting in. And then that's what's then resonating, scattering between the two and giving you that
Full blown agreement with you, dude. That read my mind. That's it.
Yep, that makes sense. Yeah. It's so yeah, even though Nathan did a good job with the sound, you got I'll send you guys the video, whoever wants me to.
Yes, please.
Yeah. Are you on Facebook, Bernie?
I believe so. Send me everything.
Messenger?
I won't publish ever unless I ask and you tell me yes. Everything else I keep and we use for science only, private.
Oh, okay, guys, just understand that,
I'll
Shawn, your
later.
spectrum analyzer picked it up. You wanted to know what they were. There you go. That's what your
That was
spectrum
for the
analyzer
RAV.
picked up.
That
You
was for
said
the
AM
RAV.
radio station, dialing it in, looking for each one of the peaks in the resonance frequency. You just picked it up in your spectrum analyzer.
Yeah, it looks like it matches up now that I'm like, yeah.
And the reason why I heard it is because it's in the radio frequency range, the AM frequency range. So yeah, I'll have to put on the spectrum analyzer for that.
But just to
experiment.
understand this, all the legends, all the stuff that comes up, the history, all the stuff that we learn, it's all true. You just need to know how to put them together.
More.
Now we know. We're literally with this one project putting it all together.
Yeah.
It's the God code. It's plasma alchemy. It's structure of the universe. It's all of it. And it's Nikola Tesla's understandings and applied with Walter Russell's.
But by the way, Shawn's doing water experiments now, Bernie. So for you to come in and
some private group work first.
I got the water RAV.
yeah, so you coming in at this time is like perfect for like to you get a Yahtzee moment between you and Shawn. You know what I mean?
Yeah. This has been needed and expected for a while, and now it's happening. And also, I will be in California on December 12th. I fly out.
Nice, just in time to see that what's it called 3i Atlas come through, huh? Right before Christmas.
I guess so, right? If the world's ending, I'm gonna be in LA of all places. Woo!
Yeah, that's probably the worst place to be, man. That'd fall right into the ocean.
I know. That's the
Yeah.
joke.
Well, they have that big telescope out in LA. Would you be able to go there and check it out?
Well, I'd be up in the hills and mountains regardless, because apparently there's some people freaking out, being like, "Oh, it's gonna cause a tsunami on the West Coast," and I'm like, "Well, I'm there. Might as well go."
See if somebody's got
I'll be on the mountains just in case to survive. Up watching.
see if somebody catches a video of it. You know what I mean? And then play it for us live.
I'm gonna be filming it as live streaming it from the top right before the networks go down, so the rest of the world can see. Right? It'll be like,
Hey, you know you're gonna be up there with like some people like some like hippies with like hairy armpits and like belly dancer skirts on, like worshiping and stuff. You know, like I mean, listen, they're pretty cool. You know.
Oh my God, dude! But back in the '80s, it would be a bunch of women coming out of the VW bus. Now it'd be a bunch of men in pink tops.
Yeah.
LA's changed.
Right. Right. Like 400-pound guys
I
with
need-
flip flops
need,
and
weed
socks.
moment after that. I gotta forget that. I need my short-term memory loss. I'll be right back.
Oh, I got to get that picture. Bernie's so disappointed when the VW bus shows up. That'd be hilarious.
What's that?
Would be.
Oh,
Well,
Shawn,
my
this
friend,
is, dude, I know it's close to your time. I just want to tell you, dude, it's amazing to have you on here with all of us on
appreciate
here.
it.
That
Thank you.
even if you don't want to present next time or something like that, if you just want to come on the round table, man, it's
Thank you.
awesome to get your perspective on this stuff. You know, especially because Joe and I usually just go,
Appreciate
you know,
it.
back and forth. It's really awesome.
Yeah.
I think the chat loves it as well.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I'll take you up on your offer. That means a lot. Thank you.
Yeah, man. Anytime you feel up to it, please. Like you ought to.
Appreciate it.
We're talking about your work anyway.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Like, we're crying
I'm
out loud.
honored. I'm so honored. I really am, guys. I'm humbled by your kindness. Thank you. Means a lot.
Yeah. And just so everybody out there knows anyway, like, and I truly mean this, and it should, I believe and have relentlessly believed in this RAV since day one, once I
Mhm.
realized what it was doing. So much so that I've actually kind of lost interest personally in most other things that touch on these topics, because
Oh,
to me
wow.
it's just a less effective version of what we're already doing. You
Yeah,
know,
no, I agree
so-
with that.
right.
So
So
for
it's like
me, since the
and-
beginning, I feel the exact same, but I'm more interested in my own stuff and RAV because it's one and the same, and I'm like, this is it,
So-
and it's the connecting
Right.
part of my
So, right. So
spaceship.
what you're saying though is perfect because it's true, right? Like what you're focused on, is like within the path of it. It just hasn't gotten there and reached it yet, Well, but it has now,
Hey,
sort
hey.
of, but it hasn't, whatever. So
Sean's
you
got to
get
go, guys.
All right.
Much
Sean,
love, and
thank you, my friend.
Sean,
Yeah.
be well, buddy. We'll talk.
any Shawn episode multi-stream to my channel from the get-go because I will try to be joining them, and let me know ahead of time and I'll plan to be there because we need more Shawn,
Okay.
and Shawn's work is top-notch. Always an honor and pleasure.
Love you,
Thank
Sean.
you. That means a lot. Hey, before I go, Nathan, I put a video in
Yeah,
your Facebook, and it would be great to hear Bernie's analysis on
send it to
when
him.
the RAV turns into that bright light RAV, because it's a plasmoid in water. So it'd be interesting to hear his opinion on. I just sent it to you, but you're correct.
Yeah,
I
if you
have to
want it
go.
right now, here it is.
Yeah. So, what happens with this is that the plasma starts to gather below, and there's water in here. So, heated water. When the plasma collects on the bottom, it then starts that spinning plasmoid, and you know when it's spinning because it turns to a bright white light and it's condensed. See, it's condensing there.
The bright white. As soon as it gets to bright white, that is when it's at full energy hydrogen, and that's when the fusion is able to happen and starts happening on it, and that's the length.
Yeah.
The length between the arc there of the tube of the plasma, that's going to be your wavelength of the interactions for the resonant frequency of that plasma fusion.
Baby, look at that thing go.
You see how white it got?
Oh, yes. So
That's
and
spinning
at
plasma.
that point, there's a good chance that any of the atomic hydrogen that's being formed in there is being
Mhm.
transmutated into helium, and that if you can collect the gas as
Whoa.
samples, that would be a new
Whoa.
verification of the experiment I did with Jeremiah a few years back in that. And it's every time it goes from orange, yellow to white that it supposedly is doing that hydrogen to helium.
Wow. Thank you. Awesome. I wanted to know
Thank
that.
you.
Appreciate it. All right.
And I
It's a
got some
pleasure,
bits, man.
guys. Thank you so much.
Catch you later, Sean.
Okay. Thank you. Bye. Love
Godspeed.
you all.
Hey, Bernie, you know what he
What?
showed that you would have liked, bro? It was really cool. He put a RAV on a salt, was nice business. He put a RAV on the salt crystal, okay? And after the RAV built up and reached full power, the thing started throwing up sodium light, pure yellow.
Okay, yeah.
I was like, yeah, that's not the easy trick. That's a hard trick, man.
Definitely want to see. And so the star in the jar replication, that's actually what I'm going to be setting up next, probably when I'm down with Nathan in a week and a half. The sonoluminescence, we're going to be doing fusion just through acoustic tones, and that's part of what I was working on while out in the Okanagan with my sound engineer, music producing friends, where we were taking the tones out of that the quantum intelligence was giving us and then turning them into tracks to play through the speakers to trigger the star in the jar sonoluminescence. And from one tone slash light, I guess frequency slash energy slash I guess elements. That's the key, is that it should be able to transmutate elements from the hydrogen at the white light state, and by putting in the additional colored sound tones, be able to get the other gases out of it in a more stable point of transmutation. By switching the flame color, plasma color of the sonoluminescence within. But we'll get more into that in a private conversation. But either way, that's another major part of what I've just been working on.
Very cool. Yanni's saying far out, scary, keep safe. It's all true. That
yes,
said, what Bernie was just saying, definitely. But also what I was just saying too about what he showed us, you got to remember, if you've broken all the sodium off of the salt, that means that you're throwing off chlorine. It's not doing anything with the chlorine, and you're getting chlorine gas.
So it actually will usually use part of the anode or the cathode as in a salt water reaction. It'll take the chlorine and make a compound out of it instead of a gas, from what I found.
Yeah, in water, but he's not doing it in water.
Oh yeah, if you're not doing it in water, then hopefully
there's nothing to catch it. No.
But, okay, yeah, then he's got to have a tester and do closed reaction, try to capture and test, because I
should probably message him. I don't know that he realizes that or not.
Yeah, so that's a very good point there, Joe. And
because in open air, it's not doing anything with that chlorine. It's just off-putting it.
Yeah, that's so he's got to be ventilated and have gas mask, proper breathing, if doing that, around him whatsoever, for sure.
Yeah, that could make you stop breathing.
You might want to get that information to him fairly fast.
Yeah,
exactly. Yes, indeed. Shawn, if you're listening, take this into consideration. And even if you are listening, we're going to message you right after this to let you know again, just because we like you being live.
Yeah. That's all I'm saying.
But a very valid point. That is time sensitive.
I'll do the messaging right now.
That's a good idea.
Greg, it just needs to get to him 100% before his next run of experiments, which hopefully aren't right now because he's inspired after doing the thing, but I think he was busy.
Well, life contains a lot of information. You know what I mean? Sometimes you hear all the things and then you say the things and then you realize other things and you're like,
exactly. It takes a moment to compute and be like this, right? I get it. Exactly.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Anyway.
Very, very crucial, valid point. So equally, I was actually covering that with my friends, a couple of my friends while out in the Okanagan, while going over some of the chemical reactions and explaining first that the first reaction is gas dangers, whether it's stepping up from the 5 volt that I do to 12 volt and 1 amp, where you get magnitudes of gain in exponential gain in the level of hydrogen gas alone you produce. So from the low levels I do with my threshold to instantly within a few minutes, you're going to explode the building or the backyard that you're in just from the density of level of hydrogen that comes out of it. Or inversely, the other aspect of the gas, like you just said, the leftover gases that in the reaction that can turn into very, very poisonous gases and dangerous gases on the I guess the leftover part of the chemical reaction, and that's a crucial danger of it. And then the second degree is when you're getting the particles, the physical parts of the reactions, that whether it's an oxide, and then they're all nanomaterials, so you get large amounts of oxide that if you touch or absorb in, that all of a sudden becomes a poison of heavy metal poisoning very quickly. Or then the next step up, that certain chemical reactions just with water, if you get instead of H2O, a lot of them are just it's very reactive because it's unstable, but you'll get OHO instead as part of your outcome. And a lot of the time it's OHO negative or OHO positive, which are well, those are hydrogen isotopes, aka very unstable and very reactive half-lives of radiation that you will get out of this simple small electrochemical reaction into water. And another way that a lot of ancient alchemists and even modern cold fusion, RIP Martin Fleischmann, get radiation poisoning and cancer from exposing it without knowing. And then there's the next level up of the plasma nuclear reaction of hydrogen that you might trigger the H-bomb or something. That it's like every single level of water electrolysis chemistry, there's extreme dangers if you don't know what you're doing. And like you just pointed out, there's another major additional part of that chemical formula is with salt, you have the sodium and you have the chlorine in that molecule, and that is part of most of electrolysis reactions. So that's another key part that you need to always have in the reactions when you're doing this and equate for before conducting the experiments.
All right, Nathan, I need you to try something because you're going to see what I saw, and I just realized this. Listening to Bernie again. Take one of your used RAV clays, okay, that has nice tunneling on it. Put it in water and leave it there. Clean water, leave it there. Okay, because I did that with my rock. Okay, and do you remember I told you that there was like some kind of like slime crap coming out of it? Well, I dumped it, cleaned the rock entirely, like soap and water cleaned it, I soaked it in acid and stuff to make sure it was neutralized, and then back and forth and rinsed it with a bicarbonate and stuff, just to make sure that there was nothing like that would cause it again. And then I went and I soaked it in water. Now, when I came back the next time, it wasn't slimy. All right, but what it did have was growth inside the water that, now that I'm realizing it, it looked like gills. Okay, and the gills looked like the dendritic, accumulations that Shawn's seeing too. So try that out.
Sorry, my mic was off. Yes, like Shawn was getting. Exactly.
Yeah, and then I just realized that it was like the same dendritic because, like I said to myself, I was like, it looks like gills. And I said earlier today, I was like, oh, it kind of looks like I forget what they call them, but the salamander gills, the external ones, where it's like fingers, but then fractal fingers off of it.
Oh,
It looks like that.
Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about.
So hold on. I just want you to just take in the moment for a second. Bernie ran through all this stuff right here. So we're actually doing the work on the RAV and stuff, and he's doing it in the water. So what we're doing is laying down the way that the energy works going into the periodic table and how it actually builds out the elements and what it looks like, not theoretically, but what it physically looks like. Just understand the moment that just happened right there so we can all appreciate it for what it is. When this combination comes together, it's going to be just absolutely out of this world. So
Experimentally proving and
yes,
demonstrating.
we're going to have everything so physics can go through it and get it right. We're gonna be the example of these are the tests you need, which is what they sorely needed for a long time now. So I want to give a shout out to Darren here. He gave out one Old Man Build membership. I want to thank you very much, Darren. He also gave a sticker earlier, man. Darren's awesome, brother. Thank you.
Yes, thank you.
We
Yeah,
actually
man, what a time to be alive and a part of this group. You know, out of all the people in the world, we're the schmucks that were chosen.
Well, the schmucks have been figuring it out, and we're doing it for the noble cause of real science and advancing humanity, not controlled by $300 billion of funding at CERN that can accomplish what we've been doing in a few years' time here, and a few $1,000s compared to 300 billion and 35 years that they can get shit done. And yeah, so there might be
think of the next level where this goes. I mean, you're jumping from like a type 0 civilization to a type 1. I mean, we're immediately leaping, you know what I mean, into this.
Exactly.
Yeah, because now we can take things and I want to see how the solar system reacts. So let's do this, this, and this based on this experiment, right? Now you have the experiment to go and try it. It's not all the same experiment. We're not taking one laser and hitting it on 4 different directions and calling it something different. We're showing how it builds out so you physically see it. Then you go, okay, now my interpretation for my next level of questioning for this is much better. Now we build it out much better, and you go, okay, dude, that's what I'm saying. It's different level altogether. But like Bernie said, just have caution in what you do, because this is where you have so much information that it could be very dangerous for everyone to do it. And this is probably the line that they didn't want us to cross, that they already knew had been crossed in the 50s.
Yeah,
this is the line.
It's ionic, or so it's static, static electric confinement fusion, I believe it is what it was called, IEC, or inertial electrostatic confinement fusion. That's what it is. Inertial electrostatic confinement fusion, IEC fusion was what it was called, and it was classified immediately after the H-bomb, and that's exactly what this is. And with the dangers that I just gave there and listed, it's all extremely real, accurate, and it has to get into the forced state of water, how water charges, and the isotopes it forms from that negative positive charge and cell structuring. And then when you're inputting, and another key part of what I figured out in my recent work and writing out and understandings is that I'm not just doing a particle accelerator, but don't have to bring it up to the speed of light, just have to do the specific lines for the spintronics. It's also essentially a energy or particle or quantum qubit particle generator aspect. So particle accelerator and generator that we are going to be demonstrating, and what's part of what I've been engineering here. And there's just so much more to it. But point in wrapping it all up, I've known these dangers, I know these processes for 12 years since the beginning, when I initially crossed the barriers and experienced firsthand successful transformations in fusion, only to have them unstable because I didn't know the full processes at the time, and then had the radiation, the half-lives, the decays, the nano oxides, poisons, different stuff. And it's like I got very, very sick each time and like almost died, but realized what it was, then confirmed it with others, and then didn't cross these boundaries again until I get to a safe spot, safe understanding of the processes that we now have, and setting up safe experiments. But it's that at any point in the last 12 years, I could have done the next generation of experiments and easily proven how easy this stuff is, and proof of concepts and everything else. But number one, it's dangerous to my own self. But number two, with with huge power or huge knowledge comes huge responsibility. And it's that some of them are so simple that when fully understood by nefarious actors, especially nation state nefarious actors or resource groups, that it could bring a very quick demise to humanity.
Hey, Bernie, listen, on a lighter note, and to show you the transition of it all, right? I started a painting today. All right, I'll show you. It's like not very close to done, but you see, it's the Virgin Mary, right? And you see, she's accepting the Jesus star that's over there, right?
I love that.
Well, that Jesus star is the RAV. That's supposed to symbolize the RAV.
I believe it.
Yeah.
Like that it is finished, because I got to show you one that I got very similar of accepting, right? You got the face of this. One day we will
very
all
similar,
be free, right? And it's a beautiful thing.
It's literally the symbolism of the two parts. You have the Virgin and the child of the Virgin. It's the two parts, and kind of like walking, like piercing the firmament, so to speak. And then represented by a grotto. I try to make it like an old school, like Italian statue. Like a garden statue. Like the Virgin Mary in the grotto. Stepping out and accepting the star. I thought it was cool. I don't know.
I love
but
it.
Yeah, probably gonna take a good long time to finish that.
That is finished. That is finished, and I need that one the way it is to put up next to the other one, or I have to we gotta find a way. Because
I'm too stubborn to call that finished, brother. That needs another 50 layers on top of what's already been done. And
when we're unfinished, and the fact of the identity, like the similarities and parallels.
Yep. And actually, it's funny because this is only the half version. I have one that's double the size, but I wanted to do a small one before I committed to the bigger canvas.
Exactly. So I will take that small one as finished, and then you're going to start on the larger new one that you want to do all the way. That's going to take a long time.
But hold on, but you know where the full one is similar. Okay, is that the full one has her stepping on the body of the snake with the head of a lion. It's really cool.
It's ancient.
Yeah. Trying to go like a little Gnostic on it, little.
Well, the snake represents the charge, right? The current of the flow of the electron, the wire, and then the lion head, or like stepping on the lion, represents the hydride formation out of the electrochemical electrolysis reaction, and that it's on the anode side, the sacrificial. That's why it always bleeds with the lion head, and that's the goal.
Well, it's also like a nod to the demiurge too. Like the demiurgos. The fool that thinks he's the creator, the brilliance, the chosen.
Exactly. us, everyone watching and everyone
Then
here.
there's the irony built all in all over the place. I mean, but I don't. That's neither here nor there.
Exactly.
I like it the way it is.
Right?
Yeah.
So I'm getting that small one. Everyone in the chat, put a 1. If Joe needs to send me that small one, leave it how it is and start on the new big one if he wants to finish all the way.
I love
Okay.
it.
No problem. Listen, when it's done, you want it. Once I'm done with both the small one and the big one, I'll send you the small one. There's no
The
problem.
big one is yours, and the small one, absolutely send it when they're both done. But just start on the big one. There's a lot of work to go, and don't worry about the small one. She's perfect.
Oh, you
Right
gotta
on.
love it.
It's gonna look good. My
Happy
realism's
Thanksgiving, my
getting pretty
friends.
good.
I
didn't
gotta
show you my Dorothy. Hold on, check this one out.
you gotta make
Okay.
sure you put it in some part of your background there, Bernie, where we can see it.
Oh, of course. I'm gonna have both of them centered up in front. Then once I get that, I'll
How's
put
that
some
Dorothy?
aliens around. Oh wow! Look at that! Look at you
Came out
go,
pretty good.
Joe.
I know.
Joe's got mad talent.
It's like I figured out how to do something one time.
I'd say more than once. I'd say every time you pick up the drawing and painting tools.
Something like that. Yep, but that's the story. That's what I got going on.
All right, we at
Chief-
least got one,
Chief
if not
Rav and
more.
Virgin
So
Mary.
we got no 2s so far. So this is democratic, real science, real truth. So we got to do what please the audience there, Joe. So we just need 3 more ones, so we can have overwhelming majority.
Type it all you
Democratic
want, but
voting here.
all you had to do was ask. You didn't need any sort of democratic vote.
All that matters is your vote, and I love you, Joe. Thank you.
Oh, Bernie put up all the ones for everybody. Look at him. He went to
Well,
everybody's
yours
thing
doesn't
on there.
count, yeah.
That was
There you
awesome,
go.
Bernie.
All right, you got it,
Love
buddy.
you guys.
I gave you the third.
He outvoted everything. Look at him. The whole chat is
Damn.
burning. Joe gave him 1. That's amazing.
Oh, well, that's the vote that matters. Amazing. All right, my friends. Hopefully, we'll see you right away over for the start of League of Extraordinary Adventures. And I know
Mike's
also
not. Mike's out tonight.
oh, he's out tonight. Okay, well then, do you
Yep.
want
Sick.
to just send me a link to the Friday night stream with Traveling Fools? Ask them if that's all right, and then happily join there.
Nice. Yeah. Oh, I forgot that. I gotta announce everything at the end, right? So
Perfect.
yeah.
Well, let's do that then and make you the large and in charge announcement.
Large and in charge. Hey, don't say that, man. It was so funny. I told my wife, I wrote an equation for gravity. She goes, "Yeah, that's because you're fat. You understand gravity very well."
No, we're gonna go like I wrote the equation, honey, to explain the experimental demonstration of I'm fat.
Yes, the demonstration of it. All right, guys. I just want to say thank you real quick to Darren. He gave a $5 sticker, man. Thank you very much. He also gave another Old Man Bills membership. Guys, totally awesome. We're doing some awesome work around here. Stay tuned, man, because this is only going to get better. And we're not coming off of this topic for a while. There's a lot of stuff in there behind the scenes that we haven't shown that slowed down. We were looking at the best way of presenting it, to do interviews and stuff like that throughout everything that we're doing. So anyway, with that said, guys, I want to thank everybody for watching today. I'll be on Traveling Fools channel later on tonight. Don't know what the topic is. I don't know what's going on. I missed everything with Thanksgiving yesterday. Kind of messed up my whole schedule. So with that said, I want to thank everybody in the chat today. I want to thank Shawn for coming on. I want to thank Bernie for hanging out with us as well. Joe, always thank you to you, man. With that said, have a great day, guys.
Peace and love.
The old man Bill. The old man Bill. The old man Bill. The old man Bill. The old man builds is broken in the head. People not seeing reality has put him in the red. Where conscious and spirituality been stricken from the norm and replaced with the ignorance of basic magnetic form. The geometry of God keeps running through his head. That's what makes old man builds broken in the head. The old man builds. The old man builds. Fears of destiny are spinning in his mind, making him travel back and forth in time, battling the establishment for just a little recognition. Has him forcing the world to understand his premonition. That world will have all the technology in the end, even if it means his life will fail to extend. The old man builds. The old man builds. The old man builds. The old man builds. Fears of destiny are spinning in his mind, making him travel back and forth in time, battling the establishment for just a little recognition. Has him forcing the world to understand his premonition. That world will have all the technology in the end, even if it means his life will fail to extend. The old man builds. The old man builds. The old man builds. The old man builds. Fears of destiny are spinning in his mind, making him travel back and forth in time, battling the establishment for just a little recognition. Has him forcing the world to understand his premonition. That world will have all the technology in the end, even if it means his life will fail to extend. The old man builds.